introduce Dean Alan Stevenson of the Westfall College at Drexel, and of course, the writer and director of Unbreakable, M. Night Shyamalan.
Well, I think the audience is really going to want to talk to you, but
Sure.
let's start off by asking, it's 10 years since the film came out.
Right.
Do you feel differently about it now? Is there anything you change? How do you feel about the film now?
You know, it's interesting watching it. It's actually, I show the movies my daughter's birthdays as they get older, starting at 10. So they get to see Sixth Sense at 10, and then one movie in order of the way I shot it until they're all caught up. And so my daughter's 11th birthday, so she gets to see this tonight for her 11th birthday. You know, it was interesting because I was thinking about, you know, I was 29 when I made it, and I was feeling like my image of my memory of Unbreakable, the last time before I disassociated from the movie, was lying on my couch. It was Thanksgiving, and lying on my couch completely depressed from the reviews and the reception and everything. It just had opened, and the Grinch had just annihilated us. And I was like laying my legs over the sofa's arms and staring up at the ceiling, and we were going to New York, and they were like, everyone's like, get in the car, let's go, and I couldn't process what was happening. I remember opening up the Hollywood Reporter, or was it Variety, one of those two, and you know, the mediocre to bad review of Unbreakable was here, and then the rave for the Carrot Top movie was on this page. And I was just I didn't know what was happening, and then you know, so it was that feeling immediately overtook me, you know, I don't understand the reaction to the movie, and you know, if I could go back in time and talk to the 29-year-old self, I would say two things: one, it ain't gonna get better, and two, it's a context thing. And I've come to understand that it just simply is a context thing. You know, if you introduce singing one song, no matter how the quality of the next song you sing, if it's not the ballad that they heard, it's, you know, so it was judged by its scariness, and you know, and then judged like, oh, he does the only surprise endings, or he's a one-trick pony, or whatever it was at the time. That was my issue. It was so confusing to me. Because, you know, we had taken, as you just saw, so many cinematic risks with the movie. And everyone involved was kind of feeling like we had done something really special for the ages that people would be watching 10 years from now. And when we first, like before we got an inkling that there was going to be a context problem, we screened it for Disney. I screened it for everybody at Disney, all the heads, everybody. And when the light came up, they were like, this is the best movie that's been made in this studio in 25 years. And we really had this feeling of like, you know, peace, like euphoria, like, you know. And then we had the first preview screening, and it was like odd. It was an odd reaction. They didn't get it. They didn't understand the context. I mean, at the time there was no comic book movies, so you gotta remember that. And it's a, you know, it's a drama, basically, about comic books. So that tone was very odd for the audience. And then, you know, I guess the critics, for whatever reason, didn't see it at the time. But what was interesting that happened with it was I felt ashamed of the movie. I believed everybody, and then I just felt bad about the whole thing, and felt lost and all that stuff, and said, I mustn't be speaking a different language or something, because I don't, you know, these feel like as good as I can direct actors and think of shots and things like that, and use colors and, you know, all of the blocking and all that. So today I was like crying watching it, you know, and feeling so happy about the risks that were taken, and sad that I didn't enjoy it at the time. I remember I went to Europe right after we opened here. In Europe, they like loved it, loved it, and I didn't believe them by that point. You know, by that point I was damaged goods by then, so I was like, yeah, you're just trying to make me feel good. And you know, so it's one of those things, and I remember literally apologizing to the studio. I'm sorry, like, you know, I'm like, you know, I'm the classic kind of, you know, Indian kind of, you know, my dad taught me to be responsible and all this stuff, and so I'm like, I'm sorry, you know, I'll do better next time. I literally had that conversation with the studio. You know, and at the time, you know, I was feeling kind of oppressed by this new thing that was happening to me after Sixth Sense. I wrote it. The two movies were actually in the theater in the same year because Sixth Sense held over for so long, and this opened right away. I wanted to make my next movie so fast before they like found out I was a fraud. So I was like, we gotta get this made really quick. It was you know, I was burdened, and so David Dunn was burdened. I mean, all these movies are just, you know, therapy for me. You know, I write down what I'm feeling at the time. I'm blabbering on it.
I think there are a couple hundred people who feel you've made an enduring movie. And, the New York Times put the curse on you in times because they liked the movie a lot, and they said the audiences were struggling because they wanted the roller coaster of Sixth Sense. And this is a much deeper, subtler movie.
Yeah.
Where were superheroes and cartoons in your life as a child?
You know, I did look at comic books a lot, but I was more of the TV show, watching cheesy TV shows at the time when I was a kid. So like Incredible Hulk and Greatest American Hero. You guys remember that one? So you know, you fantasize about, you know, you're 10 years old. You know, I did the whole, when I saw Superman, it was funny because I saw Superman, you know, and I put, my cousin's also here too, we used to put capes on, which were the towels in our bathroom, and we tied the towels around and pretend we came back. I remember coming back from watching Superman and being like, man. So we put the towels on and go around the house playing with fine. And it's funny we should mention that because it was actually when Warner Brothers was talking to me about making Superman right around the Sixth Sense time, and you know, I was like, wow, I do want to make a comic book movie, but I don't want to make that one right now. And then I just thought of this. So it's funny because Superman ended up being, you know, the thing that I saw when I was a kid, but then it ended up being the thing that Wood said, you know, why don't you make a comic book movie? And I think right around that time, X-Men opened, and then the floodgates for comic book movies started, and yeah, so I felt, you know, I'm really, you know, proud of it now. You know, I feel bad I was ashamed of it for so long.
You kind of made the anti-comic book hero.
Right.